Hello. So being a martial artist, most people just care about techniques, training, just expressing, showing what a tough guy they are. Well, guys, girls too, they're evil and nasty inside. And guys too. The difference is the guys naturally they're stronger and they can be more violent. Women naturally they're not quite as capable, but all people, so let's say people. So anyway, being a martial artist, most people just like to show what strong people they are, train the techniques, or go to a place, a school, dojo, whatever the heck you call it, get together, people get together and show each other what tough guy they are for 1 hour, 2 hours, go home and cry like little babies. In reality, most of the times that they live in their lives, they're weak, they're incapable, they hide in their weakness, and like to go out there and express what strong, capable people they are for a little few moments, and that makes them, that's their reality, makes them feel happy. But I'm not interested in those kinds of people. I'm interested in training real world people who live with the warrior codes, something for real. And if you ever meet these kinds of real people, like to test them, challenge them, and you be pissing and shitting in your pants to challenge these kinds of people, someone like me. And I'm not the only one. I know there are I know a few who lived up. Now this video is about training, to lift up the warrior way. You better know the way, because if you don't know the way, you're going to be in trouble. You want to look big, tough, and live in pretense, and lie. And you're going to become a victim, especially the young people. So let's start with the young people. I'm not going to start from kindergarten or 5 years old, 6 years old, but true martial artists, most people, the spirit come from like as young as 4, 5, 6, 7. I started training at 7. Okay, by the time I was 7 years old, I already had the spirit. But I know some story, the real story. I know some people, some kids, they start training as young as 3, 4, yeah, not 3. I don't know any 3-year-old kids training. But some kids, and kids are very capable, trust me. Kids are very teachable. We can teach them anything. They got tremendous energy and tremendous intelligence. And people in the world, they're all babies, stupid, they don't know anything. They don't teach the baby. That's why babies are so dumb and ignorant. Because the dumb, idiot parents make the babies and they don't know how to raise the babies. They don't know how to raise the babies. Kids, whether you teach them or not, they will learn. They start learning from the surroundings. They're listening to things they hear, and that's how they learn the language. And they're looking at things and they're learning from the eyes. So they're learning from the ears and eyes. And then whatever they hear, they start to talk that way. They're learning to talk too. That's the most important skill in the world, is to be able to speak. And the most important skill, everybody can talk, to speak the truth. And speak the truth and be respectful. Most people in the world are talking. You can hear, you can go out there, talk to people. People cannot talk. They lie and they insult, that's all they do. They cannot speak the truth. Cannot be respectful. If you want to be an insolent person, that's fine. Be insolent. And pay the price too. But when it comes to paying the price for being insolent, people hide behind all kinds of lies and complications. And they don't want to pay the price for being an insolent person. Why am I talking about all these things? These are basic foundations of the meaning of martial arts. The fights, the wars, everything. These are the basic foundations about the truth. Right? Unless you really understand these things, you're going to be lost amongst the lowlifes, these lost souls in the world. So, and your strength is going to be lost too, unless you really can grasp all these hidden ideas, hidden lies, you're going to become a victim of this lies about training, and you're going to kill yourself in the process of training, with all the injuries that you're going to accumulate in your life, and when you die shortly, even if you live, even if you survive, you're not going to live, you're just going to survive. So back to kids, I start from the age of high school. By the time the kids, the young people, including myself, I was in high school. I started from little kid, just like everyone else, like a little baby. I didn't know everything. I wasn't born knowing everything. So in high school, by the time the kids are very capable, they're capable to kill, deceive, lie, and insult, and physically harm others. Like so, it's a war zone. You go to schools, public schools, or private school, doesn't matter. You go out there and mix with other people, and there's going to be a problem. Because the liars, you put liars together, they're not going to get along. They're not going to like each other. They're going to kill each other eventually. They're going to try to do something, try to steal from each other, deceive, and then eventually, if you leave them long enough, they will kill each other. What about the liars and the honest, truthful person? You put the truthful person. The liar is kind of scared of a person, a truthful person, a capable person. And if you're weak, you're never going to be able to speak the truth. You're never going to be able to, just by looking strong, some people don't feel comfortable. You're near them and they start picking on you, they start insulting you and try to make themselves feel good. And then you're a strong person, and then there's a war right away. Everything starts from the verbal expressions, lies and insults. But the truth behind all that is evil person, right? So I already talked about evil people getting together. No, they're not gonna last long. But they're sticking to each other together, like gangs or political establishments. Whatever it is that you call it, it's all just gangs. So the police force is gang too. Government is gang. So people getting together, even the families, right? Like there's father, mother, grandfather, grandmother, kids, whatever. It's a gang. It's gang, people working together. Union of the people. It has to be truthful. Unless you live, this union is based on truth. It's just evil union. It's nothing respectable. It's despicable lie. The union. That's the idea of gang. People working together. What the heck? They getting together working. What are they working for? You really try to get behind the idea. They're working so hard and lying to each other so that they can live in the evil ways. The gangsterism is everywhere. Right? And being a martial artist is where you fit in the picture, in the world. So, high school, kids, getting together, they don't get along, they're gonna insult each other, lie to each other, and then physically want to punch each other, kick each other, harm each other, and then they might even kill each other. So, that's where the martial arts come in. Art, fighting, winning. Win for what? Win for truth. Mostly school. The gyms too. The gym is a good place to get this example of what I'm talking about. They train hard. Weakling cowards. They don't like to fight. So they just want to show how strong they are. So they lift weight. Or even if they train martial arts, some guys, They train unrealistic martial arts, judo, grappling, whatever it is. Even if they train striking arts, whatever it is, they train in this false environment, and they're becoming good at all within these rules that they're doing, right? Putting it on the pads, whether it's boxing or grappling, whatever it is, they're good at it because it's confined, this rule. Like they play this game and they think they're capable. But they never come out of the environment. Trust me, they never test themselves. Once they take off the pads or grappling rule, the real strikes involve elbows, headbutts, everything, everything honorable. Even if you go for eye gouging or biting, I'm not saying those. Even if you go without those or anything, right? But there are ways to win. So let's continue about high school. So people get together, and out of fear, these guys start training. Some guys may actually train in martial arts, but the wars, the battles are fought against the gangsters, the cowards. They don't feel good being alone or being refused. Because their unions are not real. It's not truthful. So these weak, false people will not feel comfortable. They will unite, and then they feel strong, and they start picking on others. Now, who are they going to pick on? They're going to pick on anyone who seems strong, smarter than them. When the person talks, and that person speaks the truth, they don't like that. Wars out there, the battles out there are real. And so I believe in martial arts. You got to train martial arts. You got to study. It's part of life. And martial art, eventually, it's gonna be a lifestyle. It's not gonna be all about winning the battles anymore. It's not gonna be all about the techniques. It's not gonna be all about being strong. Just everything you do is philosophy, and it's a foundation for life. It's like a life coach. As you train, you got to find the right way. And one of the important in training, this video is not going to be about teaching you techniques or anything. I just want to give little tips about finding the right way. So I want to present a little ancient philosophy, or Myanmar philosophy, that I picked up from the books, the martial art fictions or martial art philosophical teachings. These are comics books, some are novels, some are comics that I grew up with. And they teach you a lot of philosophies in those literatures. Over here in the Western world, America, a lot of young kids reading science fiction. Over there, where I grew up, a lot of comics are about martial arts heroes, and martial art techniques, and principles, or teaching, and novels too. Can we find any books in America, martial arts novel? No, I can't even, I don't know. I don't read much novels, but I do go to the libraries. There's a big section of fiction books in the library, romantic, based on romance or philosophy about life, but nothing about based on martial arts. No, there is no martial art heroes or martial art people or group or anything in the Western world. That's a difference. There are martial artists in the Western world. What happened to all the knights? What happened to all the European knights? I tell you, I'm not going to get into too much detail, but they killed them. The lowlifes in Europe killed them all. The lowlife little rats, disgusting lowlife. They conspire and murder all the European knights. Okay, the Templar order was extinguished by murderous little lowlives. That's what happened to Europe. Never forget that. The same thing happened in Asia. In Japan, a bunch of lowlives killed the samurai order. In Myanmar, same thing. I don't know much about Chinese history, but it's probably the same thing too. Yeah, I know some history. You know, that's what's happening all over the world. You know, but we still exist. The spirit still exists. I'm part of it. So back to the original idea, what I'm trying to tell you. I learned that in one story, a few stories, a young kid, he doesn't know. He got beaten up, bullied by a bunch of other people, so he wants to learn martial arts. So he looked for the master or whoever it is, a group or individual who can teach him martial arts. And he finally found it after quite some time. And when the master meets him, and he asks him, well, you want to learn martial arts? Well, martial art eventually, ultimately, is the art of war. There's going to be killing involved. There's going to be harming other people, and so on. So, it's not a bad thing. Sometimes you may need it. But whatever it is an art of destruction. You can use it as a constructive way too. But so the master tells him, before you learn any destructive ways, you need to learn to live. Do you know how to live? Do you know how to make a living? Like, how are you gonna pay for your food? How are you gonna pay for your living? Your clothes? You know, back then the rent is not a big deal. You know, you can live anywhere. People are not gonna come and bother you. You can live in. It still exists in Asia. You know, in Myanmar, there are a lot of places that you can just go and live in the common, like open callista. You know, callista, that you can just go and live there. Nobody's gonna come and bother you. But that kind of thing doesn't exist in the Western world anymore. You can't go out there and live. There's gonna be some ranger, park ranger, or police, you know, being a homeless, they're gonna come and bother you. You know, and whether you gotta kill them or they arrest you and they humiliate you, torture you, you know, do something. And once they know who you are, then they leave you alone. There are homeless people out there living there, but believe me, trust me, the police know who they are. That's why they leave them alone. But if you want to be homeless somewhere, right? Or they will come and arrest you, and they take your ID, and they want to know who you are. So, back to the original thing what I'm trying to tell. Right? So, the master asked, you got to learn how to make a living. For months or years, the master started teaching him how to weave baskets or make, you know, they have canes and bamboos and all kinds of things. This kind of thing exists in Japan too. You know, I'm talking about story in Myanmar. But the samurais, you know, how do they make a living? They weave things, you know, out of straw. They weave like the straw shoes or straw coats or hats and all kinds of things. You know, and that's how they make a living. But most of the time, they're training. They eat whatever little food they have, and they don't have a home. They live out there on the street. And you go and bother them, they live by the sword. Like, you want to come and arrest me, I fucking kill you. You know, that's the philosophy right there. You know, and even if you're a rich guy, you know, the rich warlords, they call what, Daniel? Yeah, Daniel, that's Japanese words. Right? Samurai lords or whatever, you know, they have kids. They send the kids out there to train that way. You know, you're not gonna live in a home like this or in a castle. They call castle in your own room and you know train martial arts. That's bullshit. You go out there, out in the world, and you make it by yourself. You make your own money, you make your own living, and you're gonna die. Somebody's gonna try to kill you. You're gonna die from starvation, disease, or whatever it is. If you can make it, that means you failed. That's your test. That's your life test. That's how it is. That's ancient philosophy. That's the ancient truth. That kind of thing exists in Japan, China, Myanmar. Oh yes, it exists back then in Myanmar too. It still does now. You can go and see people like that based on that philosophy. They become absent-minded and they're not so aware of this deep philosophy. They're just doing it like without thinking much. But trust me, if you really try to see how they're living it that way. So the idea is that you got to learn how to make a living first if you're going to be learning to kill. That's the philosophy. Unless you know how to make life, make a living, you shouldn't be learning how to make killing. That's the ancient philosophy. And that's what I want to talk about. That's what I'm talking about now. As you go out there and train, you can see young kids, they look strong, real, trained. So most of them are start at age 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. After 23, they're done. They can't even walk straight anymore. The backs are broken, hands are broken. Oh my God, I got tendon injury. Oh, I pulled my string, I did this, I did that. It's all gone, done. They can't, they're not healthy anymore. Why? Because they don't know how to make a living. They don't know how to take care of themselves. Right? And you can punch and break somebody in the face, you can break somebody's arm or whatever, but it could happen to you too. It will. Even if you don't get in a real fight in training, it happens. It happens all the time. And you don't know how to take care of yourself. But you got this idea out there, right? There's a doctor that's going to take care of you. The fucking idiot don't know anything about you more than you do about yourself. Okay? You go to him, and just going to him or her is a destruction yourself. Why? I'll give you a very quick example. You cut yourself, right? And immediately you got to know how to fix yourself. Right? The cut, the longer it takes that you don't know what to do, the longer you are in trouble. I mean, most likely you're in trouble. So, soon as you got a cut, you don't know what to do, you got to dress yourself. There's going to be poison going in, some infection, whatever. What would you do? You don't know what to do. And you run to the hospital, you go to the emergency room, right? In order to be admitted to the emergency room, it takes like 2 hours. And if you're sitting in the emergency room, and they're going to ask you to fill out this paper or crap, even if you're sitting there, right, by the time they treat you, that would be like 6 hours or 1 day or whatever. Right? And all the damages are done by them. Right? So the damages of this prolonged waiting, it's not a realistic system. You got to be aware of that. And it's very expensive. Most people cannot reach that. And there's a system built on this thing, or the medical insurance, and it's not realistic. The only realistic way is you better learn how to take care of yourself. But being a martial artist, you're going to be exposed to all kinds of injuries. And if there is a martial artist out there who never injured himself, swordsman who never cut himself, who never got cut, a guy who never got black eye or cracked eyebrow or broken jaw, he's not real. He probably never got all these injuries because he's hiding all the time. He's not testing himself. A martial artist who never got in a fight is low-life. He's a fake, low-life, cowardly liar. So if you're a true martial artist, you're exposing yourself to all kinds of injuries and problems. And you're going to have to learn how to take care of yourself. Because if the guy that you created, God out there, the doctors, are not real. It's not realistic. They're not really going to be able to help you. And when they do try to help you, most of the time, they do more destruction to you than helping you, right? Go through surgeries and drop mistreatment and blood transfusion mismatch and oh my god, all kinds of problems. Being a martial artist, you better learn how to take care of yourself. I have a medicine bag. Right? I'm not going to teach you the secrets behind the how to take care of yourself. I'll teach you tangible things. Basically, you can see the tangible tools and stuff I have, but I can tell you the way. You better learn to cultivate the strength from within, the energy, or life force, whatever you call it. Chinese call it Qi, Japanese call it Ki, Burmese call it Adwin Ah. Okay, whatever it is, the force from within, the life force. That's the force that God created life with. Okay, that's the force that God gave to mankind, that breathed into them. The life force, that's what makes you live. And that's what's going to make you healthy. The least you have, the force is dying within you, the more you have problems. The stronger it is, the healthier you are, and you're exposed to all kinds of problems that they just can't touch. Okay? So you better learn that. You better find a way. But I'm not going to teach you that in this video. I teach you some basics. I show you some basics. So to live a warrior life, to live the way of the warrior, you need the medicine bag. That's what this video is all about, just to show you the stuff I have. You better have these things, or you're going to rely on your goddamn medical insurance and the emergency room and fucking doctors out there, the fucking idiots, I met some doctors, in martial art world. I got involved in a lot of fight clubs and underground clubs and the teaching school. I run the classes myself. And the doctors, there was doctors who came, and I was surprised when I found out, oh my god, these guys are chiropractors, or spines, surgeons, and this and that. Oh my god, these are big shot doctors. The doctors who came to my club, or my school, learn martial arts, and they avoid themselves from injuries because they don't know how to fix themselves. If you are scared of your own problem that you can fix yourself, why are you treating other people? I got myself armbar, oh my god, at least 10 times or 15 times in my life. My elbow joint from here has been broken so many times. My wrist, everything on my body is broken. I got cuts and black eyes and all kinds of problems in my body. But it never stopped me. And I keep healing myself. I got better, stronger, and I found a ways to fix myself. So you're a doctor, you can fix yourself. You shouldn't be lying to other people and trying to fix them. All you're really doing is you're just hiding and keeping yourself in a bubble, like a boy in a plastic bubble, right? So nothing can touch you. That's not life. That's not the way. The way is to, there'll be mistakes. There's going to be accidents and problems, and you got to learn how to fix them. I have a bunch of sport tapes. Okay, sports tapes, all kinds of tapes, and bandages, the big ones. Bandages are important, and this thing is important too. You better have it if you're going to be a martial artist, right? Especially for the guys who's going to be fighting with bare knuckle or with the hand rubs. Okay, this gel, right? It protects your face when you fight. Even a Western boxer, when they go in and fight in the ring, they put some stuff on the face, and you don't know what it is. It's this stuff, that stuff really makes your face tough. If you don't know what it is, go buy it. So, Yeah, these guys are not Superman, you know. They have a little trick. You want to make your face tough? Do this. But yeah, incidentally, learning the way. I don't block punches with the fucking face. There's a bull guard and idiots out there don't understand. I'm not teaching you how to block punches with the face. Okay? There's a difference in bull guarding and letting somebody punch your face. And the lowest secrets, I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to reveal that in this video. This is public information. Lowest, I spend my life learning. I'm not going to give out the jewelries to low-life pigs out there for free. I do try to teach the personal selected apprentices. Many of them, none of them lasted long. Because they low life. That's it. But anyway, so the secret what to make your face you're going to be doing in boxing. And what is this? This is just some creams applications for mashing kind of injury. The impact injury, yeah, to treat the impact injury. This is called liquid skin or liquid bandage. The medical word is dermabond. This is used in place of stitching. Right? When you need stitches, especially if you're not going to go to the doctor, you're not going to be able to stitch yourself well. So you better find some alternative. This alcohol is not a big deal. But why am I showing you all these things? Trust me, you need these things. And you need some kind of antibiotics. This is antibiotics. Now these are cheap, common things that you can go and buy. And you better buy them and have them. Or else you're just going to be living in hell. There's more stuff. This is the heat therapy type of thing. Another thing is a Burmese thing, heat therapy. I never even used this one. Yeah, this one I never even tried it before, but I'm just showing you everything I have. And the famous tiger bun, right? I do have it. I have used it so many times. It's important. And you can classify all those things as heat therapy. So there's whiskey. Whiskey is important to clean your wounds and stuff, especially if you got injury related in your mouth. Myanmar medicine does similar to Bengay or the heat therapy medicines for the impact injury. I have used it. This one saved my life so many times. It's important. And the famous tincture, you do need this. So, all these things I show you, it's really not a big deal. It's stupid. But you do need these things if you wanna live and be a truthful martial artist. You're gonna rely on the doctors, then and you're not gonna last long. But these are nothing special. You know, all these things I show you, it's not really a big deal. Some kind of bandage to wrap up your body parts. And this is like a, what we call it, gauze sponge. Right. You better have these things, because you never know when you're going to need them. And when you do need them, you better have them quickly, or you're done. This is some kind of sponge too. So the point is, I have a medicine bag. But more than that, there's all these material things, right? I have the knowledge. Suppose you have a cut, but you got a big cut, or whatever, what are you going to do? Whenever you have a cut, the first problem you have, oh my God, it's bleeding all over, and then it hurts, right? More than that, you're going to be exposed to infection. That's what's going to kill you, right? And even if it's not infection, or you got a cut that you can't use your hand for quite some time, or you can't take a shower, you got a cut in your back, or your face, right? You can't wash your face. Right? It's not good. When we got a cut, most of the times, we don't have medicine with us. The first thing when you have a cut, the first thing that you got to do is you need to put medicine right away. So what's your medicine? Your own saliva. Your own saliva is your medicine. But your saliva is not clean all the time. So if you're going to use your own saliva as your own medicine, you got to cut. You better clean your mouth quickly. Right? So you just swallow all your saliva, the old saliva, clean your mouth, and produce fresh, good saliva as much as possible. And you're going to use that. And you're going to lick that with your tongue. Like animals. That's what they do when they have problems. They don't run to the doctor. They got a problem and they start treating themselves by licking. Right? And animal cannot suck. Human being, their mouth, they can suck. Right? And it's important because you suck your own blood out. Right? When we have a cut, we start bleeding. And that bleeding too much is bad. But initially, you need that bleeding. Because that bleeding, the blood coming out, is gonna prevent all these bad stuff going into your body. Whatever it may be, it could be poison. But even if it's not poison thing, poison sore or whatever it is that cut you, right? It has some bad stuff that can go into your body. So the blood coming out, right? And you better suck it out like a snake bite. Right? When we have a snake bite, they teach you better suck out, suck. You better do that with your own mouth. Nobody's going to come and do that for you. When you run to the doctor, it's probably too late. So immediately when you have a cut, right, clean your own saliva, start sucking and spitting the blood out, and then you better apply your own saliva as a medicine. That's your first medicine. That's going to treat all the problems. That's better than that you run into the doctor. Because by the time you get to the doctor, it's too late. Start sucking the blood out. And as quick as 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 30 seconds, and you're doing that, right? That makes all the difference in the world. But now, you can't be bleeding forever, right? And this thing, your own blood is like glue to it. It needs to fix. But if you address that correctly, it will start stitching itself back. So after you suck out the blood and apply saliva, right, don't leave it open wherever the cut is. So you better hold it together. And if you just hold it as long as you could, right, then immediately it wants to stick back. That's important because most people don't want to do that. Most people don't do that. They leave it and then they're in all the trouble. Unless your arm's broken off and you don't know how to put it back, right? The deep cuts, right? Most of the times you can seal it back just by holding. I have a cut and I clean it with the saliva suck out the blood. And after a minute or two, I start holding it together, and immediately I start meditating. I start sending the life force, addressing the problem to start healing. But most people don't know how to do that. That is a deep knowledge. So I'm not going to teach you how to do that at this point. But even if you don't know how to do that, just you holding and just keeping it there, you have, everyone has life force, by the way. You know, martial artists, they just know how to manipulate that. They have the ability to control and make it stronger than other people. Everyone who's alive has the life force. So the point is, even if you don't have that much force as a martial artist, just by you holding the cut, wherever it may be, holding it, right? Keep it still. Don't move for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Keep it there. That makes a big difference in the world. That's really important. You gotta learn how to do that. Yeah, you better start washing it, sealing it with the tapes or bandages, and make it not move, and avoid water. Don't go and wash it with the water. Avoid water. Okay? And it's necessary that you don't take a shower or expose this with water, because you're done. If that happens, oh my God, you're wound and never seal back, and now, and the soaps and this and that, the things go, and then you got infection, and you're gonna need a doctor. The doctor's gonna prescribe antibiotics or put some antibiotics, whatever, and hopefully it's all gonna work out. But realistically now, this problem becomes like $5,000, $10,000 job for somebody else, and you're not gonna be able to afford it. Even if you afford it, it's stupid to spend, so much money for stupidity. But what about concussions? Somebody hit you in the head. Oh my God, that injury to the inside. Now, what are you gonna do with the doctor? Go to him. He's not gonna cut your head up and see what's inside. Or if it's bleeding from the limb, he's not gonna suck the blood out by cutting. So most that they can do, trust me, they're just gonna take a fucking X-ray and brain scan, and they tell you, oh, we feel it, this and that, and that's all. That's all. They're just gonna tell you. They're not gonna fix it. They can't fix it. But they're never gonna tell you that. Okay? Who's gonna fix it? You. Okay, your own life force is gonna fix it. You're just gonna be standing in the sideline telling you, oh, this could happen to you, that. He's just gonna scare you and make you spend money testing, and that's it. If you die, when you go to him, make you sign that you get off my back. Right? You can die, sign the paper that, but if you die, don't come and sue me. So that's the system, that's the reality, so you better know that. So concussions, when you have these impact injuries, the broken hand or broken joints, those are kind of impact too, but they're like internal cuts and impact. Like two things happen at once. So cut outside, I already talked about it, but the internal injuries and internal cuts and this and that, how are you going to take care of these things? When you have impact injury, the first thing that you need, you need the meditation right away, but I'm not going to teach you that, so too bad. Whenever I have the serious injury, just like the cut, you suck out the blood and try to seal it back, lick it and so on. There's the first treatment, just to send in the energy there. But I'm not going to teach you that. Even if I do, you're not going to be able to grasp that, and you can't do it, by listening to me for 10 minutes or 1 hour, or even like 5 days. Doesn't matter. There's a training that you have to achieve. So, impact injury, bypassing that life force treatment, meditation, energy sending to the injured spot, right? the first thing they use is ice. Most of the time, something happens, people don't know what to do. They run to the hospital, especially in the United States of America. I'm so fucking surprised. People run to the hospital to get a bag of ice in an emergency room. After they wait for like 2-3 hours, the fucking hospital gives them a bag of ice to put in. And if you just run quickly home or somewhere and put ice in about 10 minutes or less, that would have addressed all the problems much faster than you going to the hospital. So ice is the first thing you need. Cool therapy. Right? All these things I show you, most of them are Bengay and this and that. I classify all of them in heat therapy. Heat therapy comes later. When you have impact injury, the first thing you need is a cold therapy. It needs to be as cool as possible. And then just put in the ice. Right? Wherever the spot may be, you're grinding it, you gotta grind it. Okay? What you're doing is you're addressing the problem inside and signaling your body to fix it. The injury, whatever is happening inside, you don't want these blood clogging up and causing all kinds of problems that's gonna happen, internal infections. So just putting the ice there gently is not good enough. You better grind it and massage it yourself. Right, that's the first thing you need. And then you can be putting ice forever. Maybe 1 day, 2 days. Really, after like 2-3 hours, right, you better start addressing the heat. You can use heat and cold both alternatively after you use ice, but you never use the heat therapy right away. So ice therapy is the first thing you need, but if you're martial artist, you need to address it with your life force. And then you better start massaging. I mentioned massaging, and the stretching. Most people can do stretching, so you start doing pure impact injury. Right? Like boom, somebody hit you in the head and you got a big lump. Something happens to your leg, it's a big lump, whatever those kind of lump thing that's forming, you need ice. And then you need to massage. You better start pressing the area around and see what's going on. And there are like body signals that you address that's going to help the problem. So you pressing an ice bag, is needed, but if you massage yourself a bit, wherever it may be, that's needed too. And that's the ancient, acupuncture. The needle therapy, that's where it comes from. They actually massage with needles, but I'm not going to talk about that. And you want to learn that, it's a long process too. So, but we're not going to use the needle, we just use our own hand massage if you need that. Right? And then now we need the heat therapy. And you can still use ice once in a while, one day or 2 days continue, but you can't be on ice anymore. You gotta start using the heat and wrap it up. Right? So that's it as impact injury. And you go to the doctor, he's not gonna fix you. There's nothing they can do. They're just gonna take tests. They're just gonna do X-ray and that's it. Right? There is no medicine or whatever that they can give you that's gonna cure the impact injury. The only thing that they want to do is make you spend money. Is they're gonna cut it open and then they can fix it. Whatever. They're gonna go in there with their hand or whatever device, and you do that, they're gonna do more damage to you, and you're gonna have more problem than the original problem. So that's impact injury. But what about the impact injury that caused the breakage or dislocations to the joints? And that's also very common for the martial artists. So suppose I fall down and my hand fell this way, and this thing becomes like bent so much this way it hurts. I probably dislocate or break some bones or whatever. Yeah, in this joint. What am I gonna do? I have to immediately put it back in the way it was. Okay, you know how your hand look like, your joints look like normally. Okay, when you dislocate it and looks bad, and you see, oh, that's not how it looks like. So you know how it looks like. You gotta put it back the way it looks like immediately. Take the pain and do that right away. But when you do that, say your hand like this, and it's coming out. Oh my God, my hand is coming out here. I don't know what to do. Then you better stick it back. Hold it there, stick it, and hold it there, just like the cut. Okay, what's happening is where the bones or tendons or whatever, they cut inside. They are out of place. And don't wait. You can't wait. If you hold it there, put it there. Take the pain and do that. That's the first aid. That's better than you running to the doctor. That's what you need. And you probably never going to need the surgery if you do it out. Again, martial artists use a life force. Most people don't have that, don't know that, so I'm not going to talk about that here. But you do need to put it back and hold it as long as you can, and then just like cutting, the wounds, right? You can't be moving your hand around anymore. Your hand's injured. So don't think, oh, it's going to heal right away. A lot of times it does, but if you're tough and if you're good, but no, it's not going to heal right away. So you need support, just like bandaging, right? The joint, right? It needs to stay like that, maybe 2 days, 3 days. Some people, it needs like 3 months, 4 months, whatever. Right? And your own body heals it. But as martial artists, you have the healing force much greater than compared to the low lives out there. So you better have that. And you better learn how to use your own internal force to heal yourself too. And that's the way, but I'm not going to teach you that here. So, but most people, when they got this dislocation or breakage problem, even if your bones are smashed up, okay, trust me, you can heal it. But when you have this problem, right, you don't know what to do. You're immediately looking to run to the hospital. It's going to take you 3 to 5 hours. And by the time the doctors treat you, it's like 8 hours. Or sometimes it's like 2 days. Okay? So what happened is that when you got injury, your body immediately starts healing it. But it's not healing correctly anymore. So this breakage or dislocation or smashed bone or whatever it is, because you didn't put it back properly, it healed it wrong. So when the doctor take x-ray and this and that, he sees, oh, that's not normal. So now he wants to open it up and put it back the way it was, normal. It hurts you so much, right? You're going to need the surgery. To avoid that, you better pay attention to your own anatomy and see how your hand look like, how your body look like. Because these kinds of things happen to me, oh my God, at least 50 times in my life. I never needed a doctor, never ran to him. I immediately just put back whatever came off my wrist, my elbow, this, and I heal myself. So, you better, if you're going to be a martial artist, you better learn how to do these things, and you better bandage yourself. And I'm going to learn how to do stitches and suturing. I don't know, I know the theory, but I never done it, but I better do it. But realistically, when you have problems, suturing, say anywhere on your hand, you got a problem, right? One hand, then you need 2 hands to do the suturing. So it's not going to be helpful anyway. So unless you've got like problems, say on your leg, or then you can use your hand to suture, right? Or the front or side of the body. But what if you got stabbed in the back? Right? You can't suture yourself like that. You're gonna need somebody to do that. So if you got training partner or somebody reliable that you can rely on, you better learn these skills and teach others so you can use them. Right? You can't rely on the doctors. Right? You got cut suturing problem, go to the hospital. Oh my God, they charge a lot to the government or medical insurance, and it's a corrupt system. And it's no big deal, this job. And then they're just gonna scare you, oh, this could happen, that could happen, blah, 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 blah. And they're just gonna play with you, like you are a lab guinea. And they test you, but they're not gonna fix you. They can't fix you. You gotta learn the ways. One last topic I forgot to mention is fear. Fear factor is really important when you have injuries. Most people, when they have injuries, they feel weak and some kind of emotional stress, emotional changes, the stages the body goes through, the fear and anxiety, whatever it is, the weakness, the feeling. That feeling really does a lot of damages to you. You better overcome that. And when that happens, when you feel afraid, scared, weak, right? I can describe these feelings. Right? Imagine yourself saying, oh my God, my hand, what's happening? A lot of people panic and go through that negative emotional state. Let's just summarize all of these things that they experience, all these feelings, emotions that they experience, the negative emotions. But that triggers a lot of bad things tangibly, physically, to the problem. That fear, the feeling that you have in your body, that makes the injury worse. Let's talk about myself, the recent injury. I got cut by a saw. I look at my hand and I see my thumb almost so what did I do? So I clean my mouth, swallow the saliva, put the saliva, start sucking the blood out. And I swallow my own blood, sucking the blood out, and then I put my hand together, over there I start meditating over there. And I sat down for about an hour, start meditating. That takes care of most of the problems. And then, but I wouldn't dare testing myself. I look at it, it's sealing, but I stop putting the bandage and I wrap it up with the sports tape so that my thumb won't go out. And I can't use my hand for almost 7 days with water. I can't use my hand. Can't even move a little bit. Because if I do move that, it's gonna open up a wound and I'm gonna have problems. I didn't go to the doctor. I don't get stitches. But if I had the way to stitch it up, I would. I don't have to read those. I'm gonna get those. I'm gonna learn suturing. I'm gonna learn how to do it. But suturing needs 2 hands. So with one hand you can possibly do that, but it's gonna be very tough. It's gonna be very tough. So the fear, the stages of the fear, and I meditate and start telling them no fear, no fear. And but the one is so real that a lot of people are not going to be able to overcome that fear. And I met some idiots out there. They see myself with their hand wrapped up, and immediately they ask what happened. And then they learn that I don't go to the doctor. They start fucking talking trash. Like, oh, you're gonna have lockjaw problem. You're gonna have this, that, and they start scaring you. All kinds of idiots like that out there. This is their reality, and there's nothing I can do. All I do is like, okay, you have your point, and I have my point, right? I just tell them, If you're weak, the infection comes to you and will kill you because you're weak. If you're strong, your body fights back whatever is attacking you and heals back. And that's my point. And I can prove it to you, right? So just answer me. How much you want to bet? $5? Just for the principle. Not that I really want to take this guy money. There's an idiot talking, and there's the argument that you can win just by, you just have to prove it. But this is tangible, I can prove it easily, right? I asked the guy, just give me 5 days, that's it. I show you my one, I show you the difference. I'm not going to take any medicines, right? But my own body will create the medicine and fix it. My own knowledge, my own life force will fix it. But of course, it would do that. The point is, there are all kinds of idiots out there. They're scared, and they need all these supports to live. The doctors and medical insurance and all the things. That's how they live. They don't know the way it's possible. In fact, to live that way in the way that they live is more difficult than the way I live. It's much easier for you to learn than to rely on others. When you have problems, your body produces special medicine, chemicals, and so on to start addressing the problem. But when you're afraid, it also produces the chemicals that triggers the afraid stage triggers them, and those chemicals give the bad reaction or bad problems to this problem that you already have. So it's very important that you realize this. Oh, by the way, also I want to mention my recent cut in the hand. Some noteworthy fact. At first, my own blood sealed up, but the wound won't heal on top because even though I'm not using my hand moves a little bit, and that cut just won't heal because it's too late. And I don't take stitches. So I did like 3 meditation sessions. That's all I could do. I was busy. The world slowed down, and I still live. I have to do a lot of stuff. But so I can't be sitting down meditating all the time. So the blood doesn't work as a glue anymore. But after like 3-4 days, right, my body at the wound area started producing something that's not like pus. I know what pus is, but it's some kind of clear chemical. It's sticky. I think it's a glue. It's producing to stick it up. So it's just noteworthy. But anyway, I trust my body. I trust God. God created my body, and He gave me life force. I trust the life force too. That's all I ever need to live.